Salute, 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 salute. Guys and gals, how's everyone doing tonight? Appreciate y'all being here.
Mm-hmm.
Mama's got a gun. Welcome, Sly. Appreciate the lurk. Maven, appreciate you stopping in. Episode 8
Yeah.
of the Twitch Mindset podcast.
Let's
crazy.
go, man. Mm-hmm.
over 2 months. I don't know, it's felt like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's flown by, man. It's flown by.
It's nuts, man. Like, could you imagine this? I don't know, like 8 weeks ago. It's been a lot of fun.
No, man, I never would have imagined that we would have had this much of I don't know what you'd say, like a following for it and like a liking for it too, right? People enjoy coming in and talking to us after the podcast and even having their own discussions while we're doing the podcast, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's been one of the coolest things about it is people, like you said, having their individual discussions.
Exactly.
Like while we're talking about something, that's what it's all about. The community, coming together and stuff like that, and talking about the stuff that needs to be talked about. It's been super fun, man. Sly, what's up, Sly? But yeah, man, healthy. Let's see here. Let's do this. Why don't you introduce yourself, brother, for those that don't know you?
All right, so I'm that healthy kid, or John. I'm a 22-year-old Canadian. Shout out to all my Canadians in the chat. I don't know if there is a ton of you, but shout out if you're in here. I appreciate it. I've been streaming for 5 months now, just about. I think it was late May I had started, so it's been kind of awesome. I've been doing it part-time, kind of just whenever I'm in the mood to play video games, I'll turn it on kind of thing. And I've been having a blast with it so far. So, and this podcast has been one heck of a time. I've been having a blast with that too. So,
heck yeah, man. My name is Pat, old Pat. My Rooster's behind me, Lil Roos, aka the star of the show. I've been streaming, I guess around the same time, like 5 months, 4 or 5 months, something like that. Started streaming straight from the console on PS4. Wanted a PC, so I got one of those. Been streaming on it for the last 2.5 months or something like that.
Nice.
Still learning the mouse and keyboard, but I've been having a bunch of fun with it.
Sweet.
Always been like very addicted and to like mindset in general. So met up with Healthy. We hit it off right off the bat. Went into his stream one night. We started talking like we always did, and mentioned that we should start a podcast. He was like, "Man, that sounds like a good idea. I don't even have to be in it." I was like, "Nah." I want you to be in it. So we've been doing it for the last 8 weeks now.
Yeah.
Never thought that it would have, ended up being what it's amounted to. I don't go into anything with expectations, but I've been extremely humbled. Oh no, I'm getting a raider right now.
Oh man, nice.
Corey, salute, man. Appreciate that raid, brother. And Sly, I appreciate that host. Thank you so much, man. Thank y'all so much. Hope y'all are doing well. But yeah, never would have expected it to be where it is right now. And we talked about that. Like you said, people that have been interested. But dude, why don't you talk about like what happened on SoundCloud, like with this last episode?
This last episode completely blew by any expectations I had. Like we sat down for 3 hours with Salty and kind of just had ongoing discussion that just we kind of got a little too far into it and just kept talking, right, for like 3 hours. So I was like, man, there's no way anyone's gonna want to sit down and listen to like 3 hours of us just rambling on for like this thing. So I had no expectations that the views would or like the listens would go up, but they were like, they're the best we've ever had, like the best episode we've ever had. So holy man. Right? Completely just the complete opposite of what I had thought. And the feedback too was really good. People loved it. So I think it was coming back to that whole authentic thing, right? Like we had no game plan into what we were going to go and talk about or say. And we had like Salty never had any idea of what he was going to talk about either, right? He was just genuine about it. So it was a really good episode. Yeah, really good turnout too.
Pretty much. Like I talked to him earlier in the week, and Diamond Spike, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I talked to him earlier in the week, and I was like, hey man, we kind of went back and forth a little bit, and he had something. We were both kind of pretty vague, but I just knew that there's some stuff and I just knew like the times I've been in the stream, I said, man, this dude, he's got a lot of good stuff to say. You know, like it's like that sometimes, man. Sometimes if you're just talking to somebody and like they're of a similar mindset, that man, it doesn't matter, if y'all make a topic or not. It can just, turn into something, and it was great. Like it was 3 hours. Yeah. It felt like 30 minutes. Like, I don't know. We both say this a lot, but when you're around people like that you want to be around, people that bring out the best in you, like you want to be around those people all the time. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the reason why if I'm talking to like you, talking to Salty, or talking to Sorry, Mom's got a gun or something like that, time just flies by because you always want to be around those people because for sure. They're positive, they're going to encourage you. Your future is who you're hanging out with. So, I mean, yeah, like just everybody in general, in life, on Twitch, and everything you do, you have to surround the people around you, like people that want to go somewhere, like people that, don't want to be stagnant, people that don't want to dwell and complain about everything. Like you have to surround yourself with those type of people, right? Somebody that's negative or never optimistic or something like that. Like you can be around that person if you want to, but just know in time you're gonna turn into that person. Like
exactly
all the negative traits of that person, you're eventually gonna be it. That's why I'm so obsessed by why we have to stay in our own head. You have to be self-aware enough. Like your cousin, your best friend, listen to what they say carefully. If they're always negative, stuff like that, it could be somebody very close to you. And the reason why they're like that is because they haven't done anything with their life that they wanted to. Instead of going and do it, they complained. Instead of doing it, they listened to their cousin, they listened to their mom, and didn't end up doing what they wanted to do. So they decided that they're going to do the same to you and, hold yourself back. And definitely. That's why I'm just so, passionate about that. So,
No, for sure. And you gotta go and take chances on some things, even though some people might not like that. Right. And speaking of that, what about that pizza company jumping into that Twitch train with that marketing?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like completely from left field. I never would have thought anybody would go and do that. But he took the chance, and it's paying off pretty good for him, in my opinion.
1,000%. So I know Mom's got a gun. I know she knows about it. Maybe a couple other people here, do too. So like a week or two ago, my southern brother, he's a transplant though. He's in Minnesota now, but my southern brother, 8-Bit, aka Chad, on Twitter, great dude. I can't say enough great things about him. He tagged me in a post. DiGiorno evidently, they made a tweet about, send us, streamers accounts for us to go check out. And like he was kind enough to to tag me on there. So like
Oh, okay.
that. So that was something. So that started the dialogue.
Yeah.
So now, he tagged a few other people on it. Now, obviously, just seeing any account with that verified check mark, people are gonna go crazy, right? But
Oh, for sure. For sure they will.
Being that it was, actual, DiGiorno,
Yeah.
folks were going nuts. So like the other people that everybody else were tagging, they were, going crazy. I have like, self-awareness, enough to like, this is like the coolest thing ever. Like I'm gonna shoot my shot. But at the same time, like, I know that I don't have like the viewing, or I don't have, the following, that like these other streamers have. But the point is that it was super cool for them to even do that.
For sure.
So so that was that. And then day before yesterday, my brother Redneck, he posted a tweet with he posted a tweet with a picture of, he went to the store and got like 4 or 5 boxes of DiGiorno.
Nice.
And so he posted a tweet about that, and I was like, right on, like that's cool. So he had been online for, like a couple hours, and I was off work, so I'm gonna go hang out and stream. And I did, and I saw that tweet, and I was like, I'm gonna retweet it, and then I tagged DiGiorno on it. And I'm not saying it's because I retweeted or something like that. I'm sure they were already planning on coming, but they came into the stream like 2 minutes after that, and followed them, and we're kicking it for like 10 minutes or something like that. It was cool.
Oh, definitely.
It was just cool, and something like that can not just make somebody's day, but make somebody's week.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's if a major company, whoever is handling the social media, the Twitter part, you do that to, and they were doing it evidently healthy. They did it to like hundreds of accounts. So
I seen that. Yeah.
Even if you like hadn't eaten DiGiorno before, like once you see that, you're probably, it's gonna make your day enough. You're probably gonna go to the store and get DiGiorno, or think about it, or it's just smart, man.
Oh, for sure. It was a well done, thought out marketing, for sure. And I'm happy with how they went and attacked it. Like they weren't necessarily going in there with the same, like going and just pitching DiGiorno the whole time. They were in there kicking it with people, chopping it up, just talking and having a blast with it. They're going and posting videos on it after, like what people were doing, like DiGiorno themed, right? Yeah. Like it was funny, and it was original.
Very.
So I really, hands down, like hats off to them. They did a fantastic job with it, and they reached out to how many people? Because like you said, they went to hundreds of people on there,
at least,
and that just spread through Twitter like a wildfire.
Yeah, it did. Because like at the very least, like you're gonna make somebody smile, and make somebody feel very special, like
exactly.
And the crazy thing about it was, like, they were following people, bro, that weren't even online. Excuse me. Like when they followed me, I wasn't live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like stuff like that, man. It's just it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Mom's got a gun. She said she had those DiGiornos for dinner tonight. Right on. Yeah, like for me, that's what I sent in my tweet. I was like, like literally, and this is truth. Where I live, it's far enough like out from the from town that like they literally no pizza place delivers here. So like literally, what I have done is on the way home from work, on my way home, stop by HEB or Walmart and I like get DiGiorno.
Nice.
So it's helped me out. So it's dope, man. Like, and what since that did make waves, I'm sure other companies are gonna hear about it and be like, oh, like that might flip this, be what was needed to flip the switch,
Yeah.
on some other major companies.
Hmm.
Right. So
For sure. But I think they'll definitely be known as one of the first to do it, right? And definitely get their name out there first. So hopefully they can keep this ball rolling. I'm really happy for what they did. Like I said before, like that's why we jumped on this topic, because me and Pat were just talking about it before.
yeah.
But that guy better get a good Christmas bonus for sure.
Hmm.
For like, it's ridiculous. But
Yeah, yeah. Like whoever like was the first one, like approach them, because that's a whole deal too. You have to
yeah.
convince, whoever that it's worth looking into. Um,
Mm,
and there's just so much, like you said, Twitch is blowing up.
hmm.
Streaming in general is blowing up,
Yeah.
and like if you have a decent following, there are a lot of opportunities. It's
Hmm.
it's absolutely amazing. Like not even if you have like a tens of thousands of followers. I've seen people with a few thousand followers
Yeah.
uh, that that can get something worked out.
Hmm.
And that's what it's all about. If you can get like some type of brand deal, like my whole thing is I don't want to take from the community.
Hmm.
So if a year or two down the road, if I got some type of deal or whatever, like that'd be cool because my whole thing is I'm not gonna ask for subs, right? I'm not gonna add like that's just I don't have that in me. And so, for that to happen would be crazy. I'm waiting for Nike.
Yeah.
Hey, Nike would be crazy. Nike would be crazy, man.
That would be awesome, man. That would be crazy. But one thing you're talking about is opportunity.
Mhm.
So as far as opportunity goes, why don't we swing that into today's topic on what kind of opportunities can come out of time management and
Okay,
working on that?
sure, absolutely. So, as far as the opportunities that can come out of time management, I think it's giving yourself a better shot, right? So,
For sure.
like, we work 12 hours a day,
Yep.
right? So, and then we have stuff that we have to do once we get home. Uh,
Mm,
so it's like very important to make sure that the time that we do have that we're using it, for streaming if that's what we're trying to accomplish, right? Like which
hmm.
we are. Uh, Salty man, salute, brother. Appreciate you being here, man. 1,000%. So like for me, I'll just take myself for example. So my day generally goes. I wake up 5-ish, take care of my animals, and
Yep.
then go to work 12 hours, get off, take care of my animals, and then start streaming. Um,
Nice.
if I, was to get up, take care of my animals, go to work 12 hours, get off,
Mm,
watch Breaking Bad for 2 hours, like
yep.
I wouldn't have time to stream.
Yep.
And streaming is so important to me
Mm,
that I just punt like watching TV and anything else, anything that doesn't have to do with streaming. I punt all of it after I hit on my
yeah.
responsibilities and use it, for streaming.
Yeah.
So like that's the big thing is that the time that you do have, after whatever your situation is with your family or whatever, like after you do all
Mm,
that, like
yeah.
the reality is like most people will watch a show or something like that at night or like browse the internet for a few hours. And if you're really trying to do something with streaming,
Hmm.
you've got to be on Twitter. You've got to be, you know, lending the handouts to the community, streaming in itself to give yourself, a better opportunity to get there. I mean, what do you like? What do you think?
No, I think you hit it really good, right? Setting priorities on what you're doing and then making the most out of your time, right? Going and spending time on the things that you like to do whether that's Twitch streaming or it can be completely something else, whether you like going and volunteering or going and spending time with your family, right? Like going and making times for the things that you care about the most and then cutting other things out, right? Okay, I'm not going to go and watch TV this much after work, right? Or I'm not going to end up going and watching the sports game either.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go and make time for some other things instead of going and doing exactly what I do all the time when I come home after work.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, and that's it, man. And like when you're, getting off work, or even if you
Yeah.
work at 8 hours, or if you're doing family stuff after that for a few hours, stuff like that, and physically you're tired. I mean, like, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
What's important is that, like, your body, better than anyone else does. Like, like what you can handle. Like if that's gonna be too much for you, you need to taper it back to what works for you. But the reality is, like, to live comfortable, you have to be uncomfortable. And
yes.
and like, I don't know.
Yep.
I just do, and a lot of people that are here right now, we just do what we have to do, and at the end of the day, you have to be happy. So like, I don't know, 21 hour days, like it makes me happy because of what I'm able to accomplish.
For sure, that personal growth, right?
1,000%, and the community, it makes it all worth it. But I mean, we could all do better times. Do better jobs at time. Sure, you're working on it every
sure.
day.
It's progress, not perfection, right? You're always going to have that struggle where, okay, well, I slept in a little more today, or I had a really tough day at work, so you know what? I'm just going to chill out. I'm not going to go on stream tonight. I'm going to take one day. I'm going to relax, cut loose a little bit. I'm going to get a good sleep, and I'm going to hit it hard tomorrow, right? Things like that happen. It's not, nobody's expecting you to be perfect, and if they're obviously not perfect themselves. You know what I mean?
1,000%.
Failure and growth is always going to be something that's gonna have to happen. And I like that thing you said, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's where that growth takes place, right? I'm not going to go, well, you might learn stuff from sitting and watching TV. I don't know. But I find I get more personal growth when I'm doing the things that I like to go and do, and the things I like to go and learn. Right? Taking time for those to strengthen my mind up, strengthen my body up, even going and like catching a workout after work, right? A 20-minute, 15-minute workout just to kind of get my blood flow going right before I go to bed in a couple hours. Like, that's perfect.
Yeah, for sure. And that's it, man. Like, like what's going to help your body out, that you're going to be able to physically do it. It makes a lot of sense. Wrestling Sniper, salute, man. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, 1,000%. But like I said, it's different for everybody. That's actually like something, probably the next thing that I've actually kind of been looking into it is like it's getting a like some type of trainer. Like,
oh yeah,
for like
nice.
early in the morning before I go to work.
Yeah, right on.
I'm starting to look into that. Like, I feel like if I could add that part,
yeah,
like I feel like if I add that part, I'm just gonna go like crazy. Like, I'm just gonna be like even more dialed in. I mean, because getting your health right is important. So yeah, I'm looking into that. So,
that's awesome, Pat.
Yeah, so Salty, he just said in the chat, routine is the key. Got to make the time and continue that routine each and every day, and that's important.
It is,
and that's important. And sometimes wake up and you start your routine, and then it all goes not in the direction you expect. Right, you'll go outside and you have a flat, and you'll forget your lunch. You're constantly adjusting. Because things are rarely the same. For a long period of time. So that's important too, is that, when you're working on time management and you're in a routine, there's going to be days where things don't go the way that they have, the days before, and
Yep.
you just got to adjust and make the most of it.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of changing those habits too, right? If there's something that you're not really liking about what you're doing, then it's just making small changes each day, right? To better yourself. And it's honestly, if you're going to go and change something cold turkey, it's going to be a pain. It's going to suck, right? For example, like I've been trying to wake up at 3 o'clock every morning so I can go and work out before work. Right. And I'm not going to lie to you, for those first 2 weeks, man, I've been hitting that snooze button every day. It's been like just a challenge, right? I'd be getting up at like 3:30 in the morning. And then you know what happened like 3 days ago? I woke up at 2:50. Right? I just kept setting it. I kept setting it. I kept setting it. And then I just woke up at 2:50. I was like, yes. Right? That's a win. I'm taking that.
Heck yeah, it's a win.
Right?
And that's it too. Like it's it takes time.
Yep.
When you're training your body to get in a new routine, instead of sleeping until 4 or 5 or whenever you normally sleep into, even if it's waking up just an extra 30 an hour, like they say it takes 3 weeks to develop a habit. I mean, like you said, the whole cold turkey thing, it's going to take a while. And, that's okay. Like life is long, as long as you're, actually working on it to get there.
Exactly.
And then, so yeah, dude, that's a huge win.
Yeah.
That you've been able to, get up at the time, like you said. And then now you actually got up 10 minutes earlier. Man, that's awesome.
For
man.
sure.
I salute you for that one.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. But no, I'm glad we're kind of hitting on this, because I don't think, especially for me, it was a big deal this year to kind of look and self-reflect on what kind of habits I wanted to keep, what I wanted to change to just better myself going forward. Right? I think it's a conversation everybody needs to have, and not just, okay, I'm going to go and say that, this person needs to go and clean up their life and do this different, right? Kind of take a look at yourself instead of going and looking at everybody else and what they need to fix with their life, right?
Now, like we're not, too long into this podcast, and it is too early to be putting me on a rant. It's too early for that, man. Brother, it's too early for that. Okay?
Oh, man. No, I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
You hit it like right on the head. And that, like, bro, how dare you, like, how, somebody that's streaming or whatever, like, how dare you, say this, and then, like, you do this exact same thing. Like, like, everything falls on me. Like, everything falls on me. I take, like, ownership for everything. So,
for sure.
If you're the one to, point blame, play that blame game, cast the first stone, instead of like taking a step back and look in the mirror and just taking ownership and be like, okay, no, like the reason why that person got to this level isn't because of what I'm doing. Like, that person decided to, forget about everything else they had going on and then just go for it all the way in, rather than, dwelling and just saying, this person, like he got put on, like this person, got lucky, or something like that. We've gotta start taking ownership over what we do, man. Like,
for sure.
I see so much a lack of it, on Twitter. It's always, that community's fault for not supporting them, and this person's fault. And instead of, it's like, no, like you didn't stream last weekend.
Yep.
And you were off work. Like you watched Narcos and Breaking Bad.
Exactly.
Like, that entire weekend.
Yeah.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And I want to say that too. There's nothing wrong with any of that. The issue is that when you do that and then you complain that you don't have time to stream.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
that's my whole thing, man. Like be happy. Like watch Netflix for the whole weekend. Like I'm all
for
about
sure.
being happy, but don't take it to Twitter and say that, oh, like I don't have time to do this and that. It's just not true.
No,
And
definitely.
it shows in your work, man.
Yeah.
Like like we all have stuff going on,
Mm-hmm.
and you just gotta put your wants and like straight. This
Mm.
is a huge want for me. Like I know it is for you,
Yeah,
and it's just punting a lot of stuff that you normally do to do this. All right,
for
let's
sure.
see.
It's oh
Go ahead.
man.
Yeah,
I just
let's
want to say one more thing
go
before
ahead.
we get into this.
Go ahead.
It's being comfortable with the decisions you're making, right? If you're
Mm-hmm.
not happy with the decisions you're making, the way you're spending your time with time management, then you got to go and change the things that you don't like about it, right? I like the one book. It's by Grant Cardone. If you guys don't know who he is, he's a big real estate guy down in the States. His book, The 10X Rule, little cuss warning here, but he has one chapter and it's called "Oh Woe Is Me, the Little Bitch." And basically what that is he talks about people just dwelling on the things they're not doing, going and picking apart other people, jumping on that pity party, right? Like they're just constantly complaining and tearing people down, right? And he says, like, oh, why would somebody go and spend their time going and pitying themselves, dwelling all the time when you can just go and get to work? Is basically the gist of the chapter. Like, why dwell? What is it helping? What are you doing with it? Right? You're spending all this negative energy when you could go and be making small improvements day to day on whatever you want to work on. Right? You can change your life. Get on with it. Like I hate that. Like people complain all the time, and don't get me wrong, there's definitely some things holding you back. I get it. Life sucks sometimes, but you definitely have some opportunities where you can go and change your life.
That's fire.
All right.
That's fire, man. That was fire. No, it's true though, bro. Like I agree with all of it. Like everything you just said. A lot of times, you'll if people are starting to complain and stuff like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like what runs through my mind constantly is like one a 3-letter word, and right. So like
Yeah.
wake up in the morning, you got a flat tire, and
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, like you forget your lunch. Like so, and I say stuff like that, and like people might be thinking that are listening, like, oh, that's so petty. But no, people really get upset about those things. Like
Yep.
like something like that. It's such a beyond first world problem,
Mm,
but it's
yep.
just like like and like sure whatever like might suck like
Mm,
and I mean the issue is that the market, Twitch, stuff like that, like the market, as far as whether you're gonna excel or not,
yep.
if you got something going on, the market like doesn't care. The market continues to grow.
Yep.
Like, and that doesn't matter if you're us, if you're a CEO of a company.
For
So
sure.
it's very important like to keep stuff in perspective, and it's just like, man, like I know that dude at my job. Like it can always be so much worse. Which I
Mm,
mean, you can call it cliche or whatever. It's just
yep.
that, man, I have like there's no way I can stop doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
Because people like literally like what we're doing right now, like just having a
Mm,
roof over our heads and being able to do this on this platform right now. Like people will literally kill for that.
for sure.
Like,
For sure they would. Right? It's
man,
having that effect to go and kind of change your perspective and take a step back and saying, you know what, I have a great life no matter what. And even doing that in the morning to kind of reassure yourself, not reassure yourself, but remind yourself of what you have in your life compared to others and how grateful you are for it. Right?
so grateful, so grateful. And it's like one of those things where like even though like I'm so grateful, it's just like, man, I
Mm-hmm.
should be so much more grateful. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it's it's amazing. All right, let's
Mm-hmm.
see what Sniper said. So I'll read it out loud. He said, if you want to become successful, so this is what the old wise man told you, right? Sniper. So he said, if you want to become successful, take a pen and paper and write down every single accomplishment or achievement you have in your life to this point, and look at them and read them and wait a little and just be thorough. Then take that paper and burn it and start as if you got a clean slate. He then said, take another paper and write down your failures and pin that up where you will see it daily and do what you must to not let these things happen again. It was along those lines, and it was a real sincere talk. I was like, dang. So, people, kind of default to, that like a failure means that they've lost, the end game, which is like, it's not true at all, right? Like failure is part of the journey. You're gonna like do something, doesn't work, whatever, and then like it's not about like, the failure. It's about like, like how you bounce back. Like how do you bounce back after getting hit in the face? It's like that's gonna happen. 1,000%. So a lot of people are just shy and think, oh, like, no, that's not what failure means. Failure, as like a whole doesn't mean that like you're done. It means that like, something didn't work and you've got to figure out how you're going to make it work.
Exactly. I looked at it, that Edison light bulb thing, like you found 1,000 ways to not get the light bulb to work. Ooh.
And that's it, right? Like the 1,001th way, got it to work.
Yeah.
Like, man, it's life. It's life, man. Like things rarely go like how we thought they were going to go.
Exactly. And that's coming back to having no expectations on how things are going to go, right? I got chills up my spine hearing real talk like this. I appreciate that, Russian.
And I mean,
but
go ahead, brother.
Sure, go ahead, man.
I mean, it's true, dude. Like that, bro. That is real talk. Like, I mean, like there's a lot of different ways, right? Like,
for sure.
Grant Cardone's success, the way he went about it might be different than this old wise man's success. Whatever success they had. The thing about it though is like all the successful people, there are certain common attributes that they've all, like the dwelling that you mentioned with Grant Cardone. Like I love Grant Cardone. I didn't know he wrote like a chapter about that, but that's how it is, man. Like nobody can say one reason how dwelling helps.
Yep.
It doesn't, man. It's poison.
It is.
It holds you back. And it makes you better.
Yes, it really does. And it's something that people either get told about or they end up having some kind of an experience where they kind of have to go and learn that the hard way. Right? It's something I don't wish anybody would have to go through, but it happens, right? Dwelling is a thing you got to learn how to live without and kind of move on from, and not just moving on with the future and keeping moving forward, always forward.
It just it bugs me so much. It's just like that's why, on my Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I know eventually like somebody's gonna say like, man, you say the same thing over and over again, which I have no problem with. I'm very narrow. Like it's because it's the truth. Like I'll say the truth until the day I die. But like it makes you so bitter, man. Like like for real, bro. Like that's the reason why people aren't doing what they want to do. Is because they have a bitter person that's telling them not to do something, and they're listening to that bitter person. Like and it sucks, man. Because like some of them even think like they're trying to help them out, and it's just. You have to get to that age, where you're making your own decisions and like really think about what that person is saying. Like if there's something that you want to do, and you have the self-awareness, you're like, man, I can do this.
Yep.
And then every single person around you is telling you, nah, man, I tried it, didn't work. Like that's my other thing too. Like, I tried it, didn't work. Like,
Yep.
I'm not you. Like,
Yep.
I'm not you, man. Like, stop. Okay, it didn't work for you. Doesn't mean it can't work for me. Like,
Exactly.
I mean,
Yep.
it's, it's different if you're trying to, like, I'm not an esports player. Like, you know,
no, I totally hear that. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, man, I can be an esports player. Because personally, I know, like, that's not in my skill set.
Yep.
Like,
for sure.
You know, it's just, like, forget about everybody, man. Forget about those people who are telling you that. Go in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Just you looking at you.
Yeah.
Like, keep it real, man. Don't lie to yourself.
For sure.
I don't know. Like, not everybody's meant to be a streamer, right?
Exactly. And that's a big thing. You can go and lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. At the end of the day, you know what you want. Or you got to just have a real conversation on what you want from life, right?
1,000%, man. I don't know. I'm just so, I'm just so passionate about that.
Yeah.
It's just, man. And you've done it. We talked about it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we both, one of the things I really admire about you is that you speak from a place of knowing. Like, you did, like, if a topic comes up and, like, you're not like, oh, like, let me just, just say something to say something, and we're both like that in the, in a similar way. So I say that to say this, is that we both had to, get, friends or whatever. Like, you gotta remove a loser friend and bring in a winner friend.
For sure. Yeah.
And we both had to do that. It's life.
Yep.
Like, you outgrow people sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if somebody wants to stay in the same place, like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I can't hang around you because I can't stay in the same place, man. Like, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
Like, and if you want to stay in the same place, that's fine too. Like, whatever makes you happy. But the reality is, the reason why, like, things aren't going well with streaming or whatever, like, instead of, all right, like, you wake up, man, I'm gonna stream tonight, right? Like, that's what you want to do. Instead of doing that, at lunchtime, you get a text from your boy, and he's like, hey, man, let's go drink tonight. Now, that might not be really what you want to do. You rather stream. But, and you told your friend that, like, you're going to stream that night, and like, nah, man, forget that streaming thing. It ain't going to work out. It didn't work out for me. Like, let's go drinking instead. Like, people listen to that person, man.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And they're cool. Sometimes they're really cool, right? You just got to go and surround yourself with people who kind of motivate you and push you to be the best person. Like, if you want to go and do your streaming and be doing that, then you got to go and put yourself around those people who go and support you with those decisions you're making. If you want to go and I'm going to go back to school and I want to go and make a business, okay, well, I'm going to go and have to surround myself with people who go and support me and can kind of help me grow and make that become a reality, right? Like, it's putting yourself with people who have a kind of common mindset and can kind of help you along with your things going on with your life.
It's so important, man. It's one of the most important things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
for sure.
The reality is, if you have a question about something, like, growing up, stuff like that, like, sometimes even before you, like, approach your parents about it, like, who do you talk to? Your best friend. Right? Like, your cousin or something like that. And if it's just that person isn't on the same page mentally, that's going to set you back so much, man. Like,
definitely.
For sure. I mean, and in the same breath, it goes to sacrifice too, right?
Yeah.
Like, sacrifice is huge.
Yeah.
And time management and sacrifice, it's intertwined, right? It's hand in hand. Because a lot of times you have to manage your time right, and that goes with sacrifice because, if, like, okay, like, I want to watch this show, for an hour and a half. But I also want to stream. Like, man, that show can wait.
Yep.
Like what do you want more? You know, and
Yeah,
and and
exactly.
and as far as just managing your time, it's like, man, you got to figure out what works for you.
Hmm.
The reality is, there's going to be times where you're going to have to like not do that thing to do the streaming thing. Like
Mm.
like I don't know, like if you had a bad stream or a good stream the day before, and like you put out a schedule for that week, and you're planning on streaming the next day,
Yep.
like especially when you have a bad stream, dude. Like, man, like, and you don't dwell on that bad stream. Like,
Hmm.
the great thing about streaming is you can go back the next day and kick butt.
Yep.
We can. We're a good example of that. Like the episode before last that we did, like we were both like, like,
Yeah,
like we had some good points, but like,
for sure.
and then episode last week was Salty, like, just blacked out, and
Yeah.
it was great. And like I said, the views on SoundCloud reflect it.
Hmm.
So you got to make your sacrifices, man. Like, what sacrifices have you made, bro?
As far as Twitch streaming
Yeah.
or just like life in general, well, like with Twitch streaming, I've definitely like there's been some nights I've lost some sleep. Like I would definitely push that off, right? And it kind of took me a little bit to like take a step back and make sure I was kind of getting my sleep for work and stuff because I do need it. For me, anyways, just my personal thing. But
Hmm.
so sleep, same thing. Like sometimes a couple buddies want to go out, so it's okay. I'm gotta take a step back, and I'm not gonna go out tonight. I'll go out next week. Like every once in a while, I'll go out, but not. I can't go out every weekend anymore, right? Like I kind of got priorities and things that I'm working on that I want to keep focusing on. But other than that, like not too much. A couple people maybe, but
Yeah.
that's pretty much all, right? Like you
Right.
gotta sometimes some people aren't comfortable with what you're doing and the decisions you're making, so you gotta kind of okay, well, I appreciate your opinion, but I'm gonna go do it anyway.
That's gonna
You know what I
happen,
mean?
right? Yeah. That's
Exactly.
that's gonna happen at least
You gotta
once.
figure your own stuff out. At the
Thousand
end of the day,
percent,
your
bro.
life is your life. Your decisions are your decisions. You got to make them whether other people like it or not. Otherwise, you're just gonna be bitter. Why? Like people are making decisions for me. I'm just gonna let be a pushover all my life.
Being a
Like
grown,
it's
yeah.
exactly. You can't do that. Um, but one thing I want to go back to Russian Sniper. When you brought up that old man writing down all your achievements and stuff and whatever, your thoughts are a very, 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 very good thing to kind of look at. So one thing I was doing, like I had struggled with this one test I was writing for my engineering degree. So I forget which video it was. And I listened to it and he said, you're going to write down that goal you have. So I wrote down, like, I want to go and pass this test at this date. And I posted it on my nightstand, right beside my bed, on my mirror in my bathroom, and the door just right before, like in my garage. And I'd look at that every day and every day when I got home. Okay, I'm going to pass this date on, I think it was like in November, right? So I'd go and I'd look at it constantly, and it'd remind me to study. And it was just a kind of like a mindset I got into, right? I'm going to pass this test on November. I'm going to pass this test. And it was my last test ever for like this degree. And then I ended up going and I passed it. But before that, I kind of struggled with it, right? I'd failed it. But it's working on those thoughts and kind of getting to that reassuring thing. Because I want to say self-confidence has always been kind of a big thing for me that I've kind of struggled with, right?
Okay.
A really big thing. But if I keep going and thinking that I'm not self-confident and I can't go and handle a certain situation, what's going to happen?
You're not good.
Exactly. Right? If I have the confidence, and it's kind of a thing you got to go through to gain confidence, but if you have that thought process where I'm going to handle this situation no matter what, whether it's good or bad, whatever happens, I'm going to handle it, then you're going to handle it, right?
1000%.
Failure is just a thing you got to grow from, but it's whatever.
For sure. Like I completely agree with everything, and like the whole, writing stuff down. Like, he said, write down every single accomplishment or achievement you have in your life to this point. Like I said, everything is different for everybody, and the way people go about stuff. Like for me, like I'm super grateful and like super grateful for what I have been able to achieve. Like super grateful, but like in the same breath, I'm like the whole clean slate thing. Like I'm clean slate every day. Like as far as like I'm super grateful. Like I know I've been super blessed, but
I get you.
At the same time, I'm clean slate every day to where it's like I haven't done anything. Like I need to get to work. You know what I mean? Like I think for me that works. Just dude, I love use the word confidence. Like that's a big play too, man. That's so huge. Like in streaming in general, like there's so many people that don't want to stream because they don't have the confidence to do it. I'm sure you've seen that on Twitter before. Where
definitely, right? Somebody's a little more reserved or a little shy, especially with the face cam thing too, right? That's a little bit of a struggle to get used to.
Exactly, and that kind of just goes back to the whole opinions thing, right? Like staying in your own head, getting super quiet, and not caring what anybody thinks about you. Like because I mean, here's the thing about it, like. No matter if whatever, like you're kind of attractive or you're super good looking, somebody's gonna come in there and eventually make fun of you, like the way you look.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's just gonna happen. People are like that. Sometimes. So at that point, and I know you've seen it on there on Twitter, like that's for some people, that's enough for them to quit, or if not quit, to stop streaming for a really long time. And now I'm just talking about somebody comes in pokes fun at you every once in a while, not like they 20 trolls just constantly saying negative things. Because I know that happened on with the sorry community recently, but yeah, man, it's just like knowing like these people like they don't know you, like man they don't know you, man. Like let them talk, whatever.
Exactly.
Like, people are insecure, bro. Like that's the reason why they make fun of you.
For sure.
They're insecure. Like they can't use a face cam. Like they're sheltered. So, they had a rough, childhood or whatever. Excuse me, bless you.
Bless you.
But
bless you.
Bless me. Sorry about that. But yeah, the whole confidence thing is huge, man. Like when I was growing up, like for the most part, I was pretty shy growing up. Just stuff like I was shy. Like I was always I was pretty well mannered, because of my parents. So I was always like yes ma'am, no ma'am, and all that stuff. So I would speak when I was when I was spoken to, type of deal. But like once I started like speaking, that's when like whatever charisma, whatever you wanted to call it, like it just naturally came out. Excuse me, I love people, but I've always been kind of naturally quiet. Even kind of like now, still a little bit
for sure.
I'm kind of just reserved. I'm a very observant person. Now like if you have something, like if you want to ask me something, sure, I've got a ton to say. Other than that, I kind of mind my own business, but that helped me out when I was growing up though, because when everybody was doing like stupid stuff, like I remained like true to like myself. And,
nice.
Like who I am as a person, and didn't follow in the same bad patterns and the same bad habits that everybody else did.
Right on.
I learned, really, then it got cemented into, in me, is that just because somebody's doing something that socially is seen as cool that
Mhm.
doesn't mean like I need to do it. And I realized that, man, none of that stuff was cool, and I just know where
Yeah.
those people are now, and it's not in a good place. So
Yeah.
people gotta be careful when they start streaming. Like, you gotta surround yourself. Like, you gotta build your community how you want your community to be. Right?
Exactly.
Like, you
Yeah.
can't be having like, if this whatever, like a negative community. I mean, you can if you want to, but man, that's gonna turn like positivity is like starting to win, bro. Like, we're seeing it on Twitter, and like kindness and all that stuff. Like, it's really starting to to swarm, and
It is.
that's
Yeah.
what it's about, bro. And there's always gonna be negative people, but
Yep.
it's just putting out the good and seeing, and let the chips fall where they may. Like, I'm perfectly fine
Exactly.
with putting my all in this for 6-7 years, and
Mhm.
like the reality is, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be a partner. Like, I don't know that. Like, I
Yep.
believe I can be, but like, I don't know. But I'm perfectly fine putting everything I have into this, and if
Mm.
6-7 years down the road, like, I don't make it, then bro, like, I'm not gonna regret anything, because
Yeah.
I know I went all in.
And you're just having a blast with it. Like, you
1,000%.
don't really care about what happens, or you have no expectations on where it's going to go or what's going to happen with it, right? You're just having a great time, chilling with people, talking to people, going on the occasional your favorite Texans rant, right?
Yeah.
But you are like, and people see that. That's why they get drawn in with it.
Right, and for sure, right? Like the whole, there's a fine line between hope and expectation, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like it's very important to address that too, because like,
Mhm.
excuse me, I'm sorry. Like, I hope to be a partner one day. Like, there's nothing wrong with hoping for something. Like,
Yep.
like, I hope we do the podcast every week.
Yep.
But I don't expect anything, and
Mm.
like going back to what you said, when you don't expect nothing, like, you can't get disappointed.
Yep.
Like, you just can't get disappointed, man. Like, the people go into stuff with the wrong intentions. Like,
For sure.
their intentions aren't pure, and
Mhm.
by that I only mean healthy. Okay, you just hit X amount of followers. Okay, like, I'm lurking in the shadows. I seeing what you're doing. All right, let me
Yep.
start talking to this dude. He's got a podcast going on. Let me start talking to him. Try to get cool with him. Okay, like,
Yeah.
he's gonna do something for me.
Yep.
He's gonna say something nice about me on Twitter. He's gonna retweet my tweet. He's gonna host me. He's gonna raid me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just not pure, man.
No.
And you'll always lose that way.
Mhm.
Like you said, I'm having fun, bro. I'm having a blast. And
Yep.
you're right, and it's just genuine. You can see when somebody's genuine or not. Like, you're genuine. Some other people that we know are genuine, and when you're not, it's very easy to point out.
Yep.
And that's why, like, we've been having some success. Sure.
For sure. No, definitely, man.
What's up,
Cool.
man? Salute, man. Appreciate
Oh,
you being
Benji.
here. What's up, Benji? Hope you're having a good day, man.
Right on, dude.
Yeah, bro.
No, perfect. Right on. So should we take some questions, or like, how long have we been going for?
Yeah, we can take questions. It's been an hour.
All right. Right on. Benji, how's your day been going, man? You got any questions for us? Or anybody in the chat got any questions for us? Or Little Roost? Because I know people like talking to Little Roost.
People, 1,000%, bro. People can talk to Little Roost like all night long.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Bro, you got that smile cam hooked up?
Do I got the smile can hooked up?
Yeah.
Bro, let me. Oh no, I might have it. I might. Hold on. Oh no, man. Let's see. Do I have it?
Hit that trap like mess. Hit the trap like mess. Yeah. Hit the trap like mess. Hit the trap like mess.
Hey, check it out, bro. Hey, hold on, man. I got hold on. So I got like 3 different versions. So I just got the smile candles by itself. You know, like no music or whatever, just vibe it, and then I got the
that try like mess.
I
Hit
got
that try like
music,
mess.
and then I got the I had to do it one time, man. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, bro, yeah. I can't wait, man. There's definitely some people like I can't wait till they come in here.
Oh,
You know,
man, that's gonna be awesome.
I'm just gonna hit them with
That's
it,
awesome.
man. I love it too though, because it does it gives a very good shot of Roost too. Like
Oh, for sure.
like that's a good shot of Roost.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So yeah, man.
No, right on.
Man, that goes back to like having fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see, binge. Do you see Twitch being a great platform to hold talk shows and podcasts? What is Twitch perhaps lacking that would make talk shows and our podcasts better? And like the big cam right on. Appreciate you, brother. That's a good question, man. I think yes. Yes, I think it's a perfect platform like for podcasts or talk shows just because the feedback's right there. Like, you know, like Benj, you asking like a question, that's feedback. Excuse me, which is super cool. If I'd like to see him add something is maybe link up with Discord and like maybe figure out a way to where kind of like streamline if somebody wanted to call in, you know,
that'd be
something
cool.
like that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think it is. What do you think, bro?
I think it is a really interesting thing. Like even when we started the podcast, I had never heard about that on Twitch, and I don't think a lot of people have ever heard of anybody broadcasting a live podcast on here. I think it's a really interesting idea, and I think it will be a big thing. I can't see it not. Like it's just you can reach out to so many people on it. It's like it's different from Instagram or Facebook where you would go live with that, which you could also do, I guess, right? If you had another phone or something to record that, but it's a little bit different where you can go and kind of have a little bit of a relationship with people on there too, right? But I think it will be a big thing in the next coming years here. For sure.
I agree with that take, bro. All the way. For sure. Like I said, I feel like it's gonna be it will just be a big thing because it just makes sense doing it. And I'm super happy that I tapered it down and that like we're able to do this right now with no buffers. Like I'm so happy about that, right?
I get you.
What is a sacrifice you have made that took so much out of you, but in the end you were much more content with your situation? Man, dude, like I don't know. I wish you were here 30 minutes ago. Like you have really good questions. I'll go first if you don't mind.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, that's very simple for me, man. I try to be like very transparent. So what is the sacrifice you have made that took so much out of you, but in the end you were much more content with your situation? So I've told this to Healthy and a few other people before in like earlier podcasts, but so I was dating a girl, so I was dating a girl, and you know, like everything was cool and stuff like that. We were hitting off and stuff like that, like you know, and she liked the Texan, you know, it was all good. But I work 12 hours a day, and I work generally 6 days a week. You know, my choice. So like we'd hang out. But once the Twitch thing got involved, which I wanted to do, I decided, like I just don't have time for this relationship. And oh shit!
Just like you like.
Oh my gosh, man. Hold up, man. Hold up, man. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Sly. Oh my gosh, dude. Holy cow. Sly. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Salute. Thank you. You heard that Whataburger notification. Yeah, I got that as my notification for donations. I told you not to spoil. I told you, thank you so much. I'm super grateful. I told you not to donate, man. Thank you so much, man. I tip my hat to you. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. Holy cow. Thank you. You are hard-headed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, you told me. Told you I spoiled you. That was her message. Yeah. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you I'm so grateful. You know what? Just for that, like hold on. Just for that, let me tell you something. Hey. Oh, no, I appreciate it.
That's awesome. That's funny. That's funny.
Your fave, handsome Texan. Am I right? Benj, don't start, bro. Don't start. Hey, salute, brother. Salute, man.
Oh, man.
So, man, y'all cracking me up, man. This is one of the reasons why I just love streaming so much, because y'all are just so funny. But yeah, so yeah, I had to make that sacrifice, bro. So so I told the chick I was dating, I was like, I just don't have time. You know, like my priorities, like, am I putting streaming over you?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You know, and I mean, you can call it like savage or whatever, but I'm not just gonna like hold her on this string and it's just, you know what I mean? Like, she'll be happy.
Exactly.
So Benj, to answer your question, that's a sacrifice that I made. Like, I told the chick I was dating, you know, to go, you know, do her thing. And hey, man, my brother EP, Elastic Panda, salute, bro. Appreciate the 4-month resub, bro. It's been 4 months. That's wild.
That's crazy.
Appreciate you, EP, right here, man. Thank you so much, bro. EP, you got any questions, man? I'm taking questions right now. But to answer your question, Ben, it's made me happy for sure. Like, excuse me, that's the other thing I say too, is like, man, it's easy to be positive when you're happy. And like, I'm always happy because like I do the stuff I want to do. Like, I don't have to work 6 days a week. I choose to work 6 days a week.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, like that's what it's all about, man. Just being happy. I just got home from class, just now tuning in. Hey, it's all love, brother. Appreciate you being here, dude. We were talking about time management and sacrifice and stuff like that. Benj, he asked us a really good question, which was, what is the sacrifice you have made that took so much out of you, but in the end, you were much more content with your situation? And like Benj, like, yeah, it did take a lot out of me because I was, emotionally invested and stuff like that. You know, with the girl and everything, but I'm happy, so. Matters. What about you, man?
Right on, dude. For me, I would say, like, there's been certain people in my life just between I don't want to get into like a whole story or anything, but there's some people I've just had to let go, right? Just because of some personal circumstances. I've had he just can't I don't know what to say, but you can't have them in your life anymore just because of stuff's going on in their life, stuff's going on in your life. You just got to move on, right? And at the end of the day, it's definitely made me happier just letting go of that. But no, I don't want to get too much into it. But yeah, just letting go of people generally in my life, right?
Facts. Gotta do it.
Exactly.
Gotta do it. Like, ditch your loser friends. Like, if they're negative, they're holding
For
you
sure.
back, you gotta ditch
Yep.
them, man. Like, well, Pat, man, I know him since I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
I had to do it, bro. I knew a dude since I was 9 years old. Grew up together. I had to ditch him.
Yeah.
Outgrew him. He wasn't trying to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's
No.
it's like that sometimes. Nobody said it's gonna be easy, but
For sure it is.
like,
Yeah.
what's the alternative? You know, like,
Mm.
if you want to be a bitter, like, dwelling person, I don't.
Mhm.
I refuse
Well,
to.
and there's the thing, like I have a couple childhood friends that I love going back home and kicking it with, right? But at the same time, there's some things that I don't want to go and talk to them about, whether it's like business or whatever, because they don't like purposely like bring me down with it. It's just whatever, right? It's just kind of like their mentality. But I love going home and kicking it with them. It's awesome going back and seeing them and whatever, but at the end of the day, you can't go and have people with that kind of mentality bring you down,
And
right? You always got to move forward.
always forward, always forward. I can't do a
Mhm.
Canadian accent, but if I can do a Canadian accent, always forward, like my boy Healthy says. But for sure, but you made a good point, dude. That's different.
Mm.
That's different.
Yeah.
Because, like, you have, like, some family members or whatever, like, seeing them a couple of times a year is different than socializing with them 4 or 5 days a week, right? Like,
Exactly.
going back home
Yeah.
and seeing those people, like, and that is an option you can do is see those
Yeah.
people like a couple of days, a few days a year instead of talking to them every day. So
For sure.
yeah. I had to ditch a friend because he got into drugs hardcore. Dude, I know, man. I know somebody like that. Same here.
Yeah.
Basically grew up with the dude.
Mm.
Like, and it happens, and I'm sure, like, for me, like, you try to get that person help and they're not for it. And, I think, there's a lot of, either we hear stories or we know somebody that's, has sunk 12, 13, 14 years and trying to help this person, recover from an addiction. It's
Mm.
just like, man, like, I know it's tough, but you're being
Yeah.
held back. Like, trust me, man, I know.
Yeah.
Binge. How can we overcome instant gratification in society that can do almost anything from the touch of a button?
Hmm.
Sort of has to do with sacrifice, I guess. I think you have to have perspective. Like you said, brother, we can pull out our phone and learn anything we want.
Yeah.
At any time of day. And that's the reason why a lot of streamers get in trouble, right? Is that, you look online and you see Ninja or whatever, this popular streamer, you're like, man, they're not doing anything but hitting the live button, playing a game, and talking to a camera, right?
True. Yeah.
And it's just like, there's literally 100 things that go into it.
Yep.
And you have to gain some perspective and really, like, learn and see what's really going on out here. And
For sure.
a lot of people start with follow, like you talked about it. Like,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you're going. And, like,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
learned and you adjusted, and now you understand that it takes so many things, so many variables.
Mhm.
But, like, consistency is huge. You know,
100%.
like consistency, like perspective, man, is huge, bro. Like, and like the thing about it is like going along with perspective, like going back, you know, one generation, this wasn't possible. You
Yep.
know, like even for somebody in their, you know, late 30s, 40s, internet wasn't a thing. You
Mhm.
know, growing up, it didn't have it. You know,
Yep.
so we need to be extremely grateful, like the great stuff that we can do.
Mhm.
At the same time, if you're like wanting to make this a full time career, stuff like that, you know, there's over 2 million streamers, which we need to talk about in a second.
I get you. One thing I just want to say is, like you were talking about how you can go and change your perspective. Like for me, I with the follower for follower, now I kind of realize that's a wrong idea. You're not the same person you were yesterday, unless you choose to be, right? It all comes down to a choice, whether you want to act the same or you want to go and be different and change your life for the better or the worse, I guess. Right? It's all about mindset and the people, I guess the people you hang out with too, right? But
1,000%, man. I couldn't agree more, for sure. Like, and that's taking ownership too, right?
mhm.
Like, instead of just being like, okay, cool, but like,
Yes.
screw all that. I'm gonna continue to being this person I am. It's
Yep.
like, no, like tomorrow's a new day, man. Like,
Yep.
and you can be that person that you want to be, and not that person that your friends are telling you to be.
100%.
AP,
100%.
he says he was a brother. We were kids running around the neighborhood together and friends till around 21. Bro, like,
That's rough, buddy.
and I had something similar, man. Like,
Mhm.
it's rough, bro.
Yep.
Like seeing somebody that you grew up with and turn into a different person. Because we know how it is.
Mhm.
Like, when they're on that stuff, when they're in that mindset, they're not the same person that we knew.
Oh, I like that one.
You want to answer that? Or read it first?
So what do you do to bring yourself back when you start feeling depressed? Is there something that is your
Just like
go-to?
you like it.
Good Lord, man. I'm sorry.
Aww.
I'm sorry. Listen. Hold on, man. I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. I got time. Now, listen now. Now, slide. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but you just donated another $10. Like, salute, first of all, but I told you not to do that. Thank you so much, Slide. Thank you so much for the
Oh man.
$20 donation. Holy cow. Holy cow. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you so
man.
much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh my gosh. Tell Icon I said
crazy.
hi. That's crazy. $20 donation. Thank you.
That's insane.
Salute. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Like, go back to.
Oh man. Yeah,
appreciate the
no
salutes,
worries,
man.
No
$20.
worries.
That's absolutely nuts.
What do I do to bring myself back when I start feeling depressed? Well, I go to Twitch and I turn on Your Favorite Texan stream. No. So we're gonna jump back maybe, what would it be now? A year? Like last April? Man, I was like, I don't know what was going on, but it just felt like I like not hit rock bottom, but like just in a bad spot. I'd come home from work and that's what I'd do. I never streamed, but I'd like play PlayStation or I'd just watch TV. Right? I'd work out like every once in a while. I wouldn't really go out and hang out with friends that much. Like I was just in a bad spot. And how I brought myself back from that, I guess it was realizing my worth a little bit, right? And that I have like a little bit to give, right? Like especially with family. Like family is a big thing with me, right? I have a lot of younger like younger siblings, younger cousins or whatever that look up to me, right? So I don't know. I have a little bit of a responsibility to go and show them what they can be, what they can have, what they can accomplish, right? That kind of perspective kind of pushes me to be a better person and get off my butt and go and do stuff. But at the same time too, it's going and helping people out again, right? I had started volunteering after that and kind of got into that. I had went to a couple classes, started hanging out with friends. It's just everybody goes through a rough time. You can't just think, oh, well, I'm just going through whatever. Like it's not that big of a deal. Everybody goes through a tough time, man. Everybody does. Right? I think everybody would be lying if they haven't said at least once in their life they went through a bad spot. It helps out a lot more if you have a good inner circle too to kind of help you out with that. But that's how I bounce back from getting a little down every once in a while. But
first of all, yeah, I hear you, brother. You said something. You said how said that you have a little to give. I know you're being humble, but you have a lot to give, and it shows with what people say about you, on Twitter and stuff. But I mean, look, for me, it's perspective and gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I have the I guess if you want to say unique or whatever situation, because for those of y'all that don't know, I work at a steel mill.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working out there the last 7 years, almost 7 years, and that literally like every single day I'm there, I'm literally working basically with guys. They kind of have like a second chance program, like people that have recently got out of like the penitentiary and stuff like that. And like literally, if I can just bring it out to one thing, it's working with those guys every single day. I mean, like, it's perspective, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we all go through stuff, but just real quickly here. So basically, like, what these guys do is that they're in the halfway house for one. And like every halfway house is different, but like they suck. And this one especially like really sucks, So like they're in this halfway house, and then like where they it's a temp agency basically that they're working through. But they have to walk like a couple of miles to the temp agency from the halfway house every single day, like to take a shuttle and like a couple like church looking vans that you see to my job. So when they get off of work and it's still over 100+ degrees outside, they have to walk a couple miles back to the halfway house because they have to have a window of when they're able to leave and come back. Like, and it's for work. Like, it's not for leisure. So literally, they go to work out in the heat for 12 hours a day. And then like they get off and then have to walk back in 100+ degree weather back to this, hellhole of a halfway house. Now, besides that, let's not forget about the personal stuff that they have going on. Like, people got some real stuff going on, like some real stuff. So like if I even thought about complaining about, like I'm about to get off work and I get a flat tire, like, cool. Like, I can fix that. That can be fixed. Like, I don't have to go back to this halfway house. I don't have to take this shuttle back full of sweaty dudes that have been working for 12 hours and go back to the temp agency, walk another 2 miles back home, tired, to this place, this halfway house where people sneak in narcotics and stuff, and you might be in your room that you share with several other people, and there's a guy in the corner like smoking crack. Like, stuff is real out here, man. Like, I don't know. I can't complain after that. You
Yeah.
know, so I mean, I don't know, like that's for me personally. It's just keeping that perspective. Like
Mm-hmm.
I sharpen it every single morning. Like just waking up in the morning, like I'm blessed. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
And everything like after that, I have to make the right decisions. You know, according to where I want to go.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah, man. Like I hope that answers your question. That's me personally, EP.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and like I said, I have the benefit of working with those guys every day, you know, so I can just like see, and most of them are old, dude. Like these people are served
Mm.
15, 20, 25 years in the penitentiary.
Holy man.
And the regret, man,
Yeah.
like the regret, like every single day, like lunch table, I like to sit down and eat with them, you know,
Mm.
and every day at the lunch table night, like, you know, they tell me, hey, man, like youngster, like, man, I wish I had my head on my shoulders like you know, when I was your age. I wish I
Mm.
had my head on straight, man. I was hanging
Yeah.
out with the wrong people. And that's the number one thing I hear, bro. I was hanging around with the wrong people. Like,
Yeah.
I was hanging out around with negative people and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff, man. And, you know, some of them just got caught up, you know, the wrong time, one time, you know, with the
Yeah.
wrong person. And it's just a spiral, bro. So,
That sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, for me. For me, it's perspective.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That is crazy. And that
that's
would definitely dial in your perspective, right?
yeah, for sure,
You have
bro.
so much opportunity and so much more opportunity to go and do things,
So much, man.
right?
Like so much. Um, I'm happy you guys are still on. I'm now ready to watch. Oh, yeah, we were taking pretty much like questions and stuff. Like EP, he
Mhm.
asked a really good question. So did Benj. Excuse me. He said, "What do you do to bring you back when you start feeling depressed? Is there something that is your go-to?" And I was like, for me, it's perspective.
Mm,
You know, like it's real out here, man. And
yeah.
I can't complain about a flat tire. Like
Yeah.
I just can't. Like these people,
Hmm.
like they don't have cars.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Bridget Fence, salute, man. Appreciate the alert.
Oh man.
Sure.
Do you
And
got a sorry, what?
I'm sorry, man. And
What?
real quick, EP goes back to the other thing too, is that I don't do things that aren't gonna make me happy.
Yes.
That too. And it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with a dollar. You know, right? Like I
Mm,
don't do things that aren't gonna make me happy.
yeah.
So, you know, if this person texts me, "Hey, let's go do this," like if I don't want to go, I'm not gonna go.
Mm,
Okay, my question is, what do you think about active watching versus passive watching? Um,
I hate passive watchers. No,
uh,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, if you're honestly, from my opinion, active watching, passive watching, it's the same thing, right? I appreciate that you took time out of your day to go and lurk me. And I appreciate the fact if you have time to go and sit in and have a conversation like right now, that's even better too, right? I really appreciate it either way if you have time to go and do that. That's just my opinion on it. I don't hate passive watchers though. I'm just clarifying that was a joke.
yeah, dude, for me, like it's gratitude. So yeah,
Mm,
whether somebody is lurking, like actively in chat, like talking in chat, whether they come by and wave a hand, I say that on Twitter a lot. Whether they retweet, say something kind about me, whether they DM me, uh, like Fence, a good example. He just sent an alert. Like I'm grateful
mm,
for any because it's all support.
mm.
Like, a lot of people think that if they're not getting that view and somebody actually, you know what? Not even. A lot of people think that if they're not having somebody actively in chat, that they're not getting anywhere, and like that's not
Yeah.
true. You
Yep.
know, there's so much so many different ways to support.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you come to the stream or not, I'm very appreciative for any of the love. So I love any of it. Like you don't know what that person has going on. Like
Exactly.
like we know how it is. Like if you've got like 10 people that you love, like all 10 people, and they're all streaming right now. It's like, man, you want to go support all of them. Like, tell me, how can you be in 10 streams at once, like actively in chat?
Yep. And that's the thing, right? It's being grateful for people taking time out of their day, just even to open up a tab, right? So you can have that view in there.
1000%.
What about depression from losing somebody really close to you?
Man,
I would. Sorry, you can go ahead, Pat.
My bad, man. I'm not trying to cut you off.
No, that's cool.
What about depression for losing someone close to you? Dude, that is like everybody grieves like differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no like good way, like there's no wrong way to grieve.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a long process, right? What I say was this, if you have somebody that you lost, and here's what happens a lot, right? You if you lose somebody, like, and you think like, man, like I should have called that person then, like I should have went. That's a lot of it's regret, right? It's regret not spending as much time with that person. Like you thinking about it, right? Being on your mind. Like, let me go see my papa, let me go see my grandmother, stuff like that. And, you're not doing it. And then, that person passes, makes it all worse. Right. The issue is that like, none of us can go back, so at that point, it's really sitting back and thinking about the times that y'all did have. And like the whole grieving process is just, it takes so long, like there's no 6 months, a year or whatever. That person is really close to you, they're really close to you. But like self-harm is never okay. Like if you're doing something to harm yourself, during that process, it's not okay, man. Like reach out, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody, like I can't replace your dad, like I can't replace your cousin or anything like that, bro. But like I'll stay on the phone with you all night. You know what I mean? Like for sure.
Yeah.
I had 6 funerals this year, bro. Dude, that's a lot, man. Like one funeral is tough. Is horrible, brother. You know what I mean? Like, you can always, DM me if you want to talk. EP, like, my line is always open. Let me see. Yeah, for sure, man. Like, that's, we can't replace any of those people, but we're like, I'll speak for Healthy, like anybody that's in the chat, like Binge, like we're all like if you want to talk, brother, like. We're always here for you, man. For sure. Sure, bro. It sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's when you have to lean on, what you believe in. And when I've not spoken to you, EP, I know you're kind of a spiritual dude. You have to really lean on your faith at that point, brother. Like lean on everything like in your arsenal to help you through it. But we're all here for you, man. Yeah, Benj. I know my brother Benj is there for you. We're all here, man. I didn't know you had 6. I know you had, one that she had told me about, but I'll definitely, keep you in my prayers even more, bro. So, like I said, the community is here for you. You know what I mean? And it's gonna take time. It's just gonna take time, man. Anything like that is gonna take time. Long time.
Exactly.
My friend was one of them. Drugs got
That's
on.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I had one like that. I had a cousin like that too. I was close to. Got an uncle that's going through it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's tough. Um, if it's a few of my friends on, I'll bounce between my friends. If I'm working on projects, I need Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Otherwise, I get distracted by watching my friends.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, for sure, bro. But yeah, like any of the love, like I appreciate all of it.
Oh man. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Bring depression. Oh, and honestly, it's good to talk about that stuff, Panda.
bro, dude,
Right? You're not
it's love here, bro. You're not, come on, man, you know me.
exactly.
Like that's what this is about, man. Especially towards the end. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No, for sure.
yeah, like I said, like me personally, I mean, like, if when that has happened to me, when I have lost somebody close to me, bro, like for me, man, it's going to what I believe in. It's like the people around me that I do have, like really leaning on them and like my faith, man, like and like
Yep.
it's tough, but I've come, went through it, and then it's also like realizing what you do have, as far as
Exactly. Yeah.
example, like um, my mom, she was raised by her grandmother. You know what I mean? Like she didn't really have her mom in her life. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, man, like that's the reason why I've got it on my Twitter, like me and my mom, like that's my mom is the most important person, and my sister, they're most important people in my life. And
Yeah.
I've had cousins and other kinfolk that have passed away, but my immediate family, you know what I mean? I go to them for everything. It's just like, man,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that like she didn't have a mother, and like everything that she's done for me,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. So I just know you have the positivity of 100 text. Do you mean like 100 Texans or 100 when my positivity's on 100?
Oh
Um,
yeah.
hey man, I just like do what I can. Like I say, grief and stuff like that. There's no wrong way to handle it except self harm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Self harm is never okay. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
reach out for sure. But I love everybody, man. I love all y'all. You know what I mean? Like I never knew that I would meet great people like y'all, because I don't go anything with expectations. But it's been a pleasure to know y'all, man. All y'all, and the fact
Hundred
that
percent.
the stream has been attracting people that, if they're not already positive, that they want to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just humbling.
Yep.
It's just super humbling. Moon, man, salute, brother. Appreciate that raid. Appreciate you, bro. Salute, salute. Heck yeah, and that goes for everybody. Like
Mm-hmm.
EP, Binge, like we a lot of us, we've had real conversations. Like any of y'all that hear my voice right now, like appreciate that raid, Moons, dude. Much love, man. How's your stream, bro? How's everyone? Hey, I'm fantastic, dude. Moon, like any of y'all going through something, personal, like I can't replace somebody that you lost or anything like that, but y'all are, and any time of day, y'all can always reach out to me, DM me. You want to talk on the
Mm-hmm.
phone, man? Like whatever, bro.
Yep.
I love all y'all. Some mornings are extremely tough, and seeing some of your positive outlook tweets are just enough to get me going. So for that, I'm
Oh
extremely
man.
grateful. Um, dude, hey man, like right here, bro, right here. I mean, like, how can I stop streaming after reading something like that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
this stuff. It gets bigger than you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like it gets bigger than you, man. Like when you get that first whatever, that first mention, that first DM, where somebody says, something, you've helped me through this and stuff like that. Like, I don't take credit for any of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is all like my faith and my parents and my immediate family. But when you hear like something like that, come on, man, it gets bigger than you. Like that's one of the real reasons why I'm not affected by like numbers or anything like that. Like, I don't care.
100%.
I don't care if it's just binge in the chat. Like, I don't care if I don't have anybody watch me. Like, one person like might come by and I might go off on a positive rant, and I might not taking credit for any of it. I might say something that it might help that person to some extent. I mean, like, I don't know.
Yep.
Dude, that means a lot, Panda. I love you, bro. For sure. But yeah, I'm doing great, Moon. Appreciate that raid, man. Were you playing Star Wars? Right in the core zone. Exactly. Every time.
Connections and helping each other out 100%, right?
That's
When you
all
can lean
about.
on each other, and that's the great thing about the Twitch, right? It's you have a lot of people, surprisingly, that are willing to be that person to lean on, right? That you can go and confide and talk to about what's going on.
1000%, bro.
There's a lot of great people out there, so
To like holler at me, you know. Talk to me, like, talk to Healthy.
For sure, man.
Like, we're here for everybody, you know what I mean?
100%.
If I was there, brother, I'd give you a hug, bro. I'll give you a virtual hug, though, man. Let me give you a hug, brother. Let me give you big old Texan hug.
Yeah.
Star Wars, dude. My boy Moon, he loves Star Wars, man.
Nice.
I love that passion, bro. It's cool. Anybody have any other questions, man? I really enjoyed this.
It was a great podcast. I think we hit a couple of great points, and like this discussion at the end too, like hit some really good things tonight.
Yeah. It's needed, man. We're all about the real talk here. Like, that's all we're about. So like you said, EP, you're not bothering us or anything like that. Good to have like these discussions.
No, not at all. I'm gonna have to watch the vid after this.
Right on. See what I miss. Okay, cool, man. We're talking about time management and sacrifice. It's pretty good. Where do we upload the podcast to? Okay, yeah, sure. So my brother here, man, let me say that too. My boy Healthy, he's awesome. I mean, we all know this, but he actually takes the time. Yeah, he actually takes the time to chop the footage up, edit it, and post it on SoundCloud. So generally the next day it's online, and he'll send a tweet out that this will be episode 8, and then he'll send that tweet out. I'll retweet it. That'll be the audio version, and then usually a day or two later, I'll edit the footage and I'll upload it on my YouTube channel if you want to see the video version. So if you want to check out my YouTube channel, I'm not saying subscribe or anything like that, but it's in like the panels if you scroll down. But let's post that link to the SoundCloud.
Ooh, definitely.
That way we can. I'll get it, bro.
Okay, thanks, man.
I'll pull it up. That way they can have it. Every episode is on there.
But no, I'm gonna try and if I have time tomorrow morning, I'll try and mess around and it's a work in progress. Was trying to get it on Spotify too. I checked iTunes the other day too, and it didn't work at all.
Really?
Yeah, it was not having it. So I'll play around with Spotify a little more, and we'll see. It'd be nice to get that up by next week. Get all those episodes on there. So
I'll do some
I know
research too.
a lot of people have been asking for that.
Yeah, there's a link right there, y'all.
Right on.
That's the episode before this one, which was really good with Salty.
It was a really good
Salty,
one.
Man, that's easily top 3 episodes so far.
Mm.